There's a week to go in the January window and we've sold quite a few of our players. We're going to have to try to replace them. Let's see if we can. Yes, hello, welcome into Livestreams Sports here for Glory Hunter on Football Manager 22. If you missed the last episode, go and check it out. It was the last two games we played. We played in the Italian Cup and we also played in SerieA. Two wonderful, wonderful games to go and watch. Lots of goals, so go and check it out. And if you are new around here, hit that subscribe button so you do not miss an episode when they come out Monday to Friday at 11 AM. In today's episode, we're basically going to be following on exactly from where we were the last time because we have the end of the transfer window. Plus, we have a game against AC Milan in SerieA, and we also have the next round of the Italian Cup. Remember, we're looking to win as many competitions as we can as quickly as possible here at Roma. And in that Italian Cup quarter-final, we're playing up against Lazio in another Rome derby. Could be a big game. So two big games to come, but also we've got the end of the January window. And as I mentioned, we'd sold a few of our players. So I mentioned in the last episode, we'd obviously sold Gianluca Mancini. He went to Newcastle for £54 million, which left a bit of a gap at centre-back. We do have 5 other centre-backs who can play across the 3, but having a sixth one so you can have two options of 3 would be my preferred option. So if we could get another centre-back, that would be ideal. And we've also just sold Henrikh Mkhitaryan. He did not want to sign a new contract with us. His contract was up for renewal at the end of the year and he was going to leave for a free. So we've sold him for £3.5 million to Sociedad over in Spain. Again, he didn't really play that often for me. You can see he had 16 games. 12 of them were starts, so he played half the games in the league. Not exactly a prolific starter for us, but he was an important player in that attacking midfield position. So I'm hoping to find somebody who can replace him up in that area as well. Somebody who we have been looking at to see if we could possibly bring in to replace Mancini is Axel Zagadou here, the centre-back from Dortmund. You can see his defensive stats are okay, tackling a 14, marking a 14, heading a 13, position a 15. He's got a good jumping reach as well, 6'5", strong. He's got some pace there with 15 pace. Could be a good option. Maybe not as one of the starting, but certainly as one of the backup ones there. He's 22, which matches the philosophy of signing some young players. His contract was also running out at the end of this season, so we've made an offer for him. If it can actually jump up, you'll see £6 million we've offered for him over the course of about 3 years. It's not a lot of money for somebody of his quality. 22-year-old, has a chance to develop as well a little bit. Could probably easily replace Mancini, and we're going to get him for what, a tenth of the price? Maybe not quite as good as Mancini, but certainly for only £6 million. Very, very, very promising option and certainly an adequate replacement for Mancini in the squad. I say that's about all we've had a look at, to be honest. We've got this deal that hopefully will kind of get over the line fairly soon, but we're going to have a look at some options further forward to replace Mkhitaryan, certainly. You can see there's a lot of fantastic options for players here on our scouting that are interested in coming to us on a transfer. You know, people as good as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and David Silva and David De Gea are even interested, but the problem is every time I try to sign these people, the board block it because it doesn't match the philosophy of signing young players, which is very, very frustrating. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little while scouting through. We'll advance through a few days. I'll show you any signings that may be happening, may not be happening. We'll get to deadline day. We'll have another exciting deadline day, and then we'll play those 2 games against Milan and Lazio. So we will be back if we make any signings, and if we're not back, then you know we've not made any signings. So here we are, our first signing has been made and it's Axel Zagadou. As I was mentioning before, we've signed him for £6 million. His contract was about to expire from Dortmund, so we've just bought him just to bring him in a little bit early. Only cost £6 million in total, not all of it up front. You can see he looks a very good wee player. I think, he says tackling, marking, heading. Could have been a couple higher, but that would be an outstanding centre-back if he could. His potential ability is fairly high. He can play centre-back, can also cover on the left-hand side as well. The only problem is he is left-footed. We have quite a lot of left-footed centre-backs now between Romagnoli, Ibanez and Zagadou. Here maybe one day we'll have all three being left-footed. You don't often see that in football, do you? But you see, he's got great strength, good jumping reach. He's going to be a monster in the air, even though his heading's only 13, which is slightly strange. You can see he's only on £32,000 a week, so he's very happy to be a squad player, a backup, not in the first team all the time, and he's not costing us a huge amount of money either. So I think that's a pretty good deal for our first one here in the January window. I have been looking at some options in the attacking midfield / winger area. There are some ridiculous names that I am trying to sign at the moment. The problem is none of them are under 23, so I'm worried the board might block them, so I'm not going to talk to you about them yet until we get the confirmation. But if they do come off, there's some big names. I've just been sat here singing Electric Light Orchestra's Xanadu, but instead Zagadou. So for all you at home, this is what we're going to be referring to him as now, is Zagadou. So should he score, that is the song I will be singing. Be prepared. I think Olivia Newton-John was in that song. Sorry, you don't care about that. Zagadou. See, it's stuck in my head. They've not blocked the transfer. It's just went through. Oh, goodness me. Look at this. Gareth Bale has been signed for Roma. Yeah, I know he's old. He's 32 years of age. He's hardly played for Real Madrid this season. 8 appearances, only 3 of them being starts. We have paid just £900,000 to bring him here in January. Look at those technical skills, technique, long shots, free kicks, crossing. He's a great winger out there. He does not have the pace he once had, so I'm not sure he's going to be threatening in behind too many of the defences. But I tell you what, he's a good player to cover. He'll be happy off the bench. He says he's an emergency backup. He's on 150 grand a week, which is a lot for an emergency backup, but he's happy to not be a starter. He'll be cover for the first team. He'll be good cover for the first team. He's got some good set pieces as well. You know what? I'm happy with this. £900,000. I think that's a bargain. Bear in mind, we're paying him that over 6 weeks. So we've paid £900,000 for him, and in 6 weeks' time, we'll have paid him that amount of money in wages. Ridiculous, but it's a good signing. 32 years old, Gareth Bale, some experience in there to get us through this title run-in as cover for Mkhitaryan. Basically, Mkhitaryan's left for £3.5 million. We've brought in Bale for £900,000, and they're on very similar wages. So I think I prefer to have Gareth Bale than Mkhitaryan. That's my belief, and here he is at the club. And we've also signed another player in a very similar position, Nicolas Pepe. He was up on the transfer list at Arsenal, so we have signed him for £5 million. I know, but it was actually only a couple of £1 million. The rest were in add-ons and instalments over the course of the next few years. Again, his star ratings don't look that great, but I mean, he's got very good physical stats. His dribbling's very good. Long shots are good. He's got good flair off the ball, technique. I think he's going to be quite good. Coming in off that right-hand side, inverted winger. Who cares if he can't cross? He doesn't need to. He's going to be cutting in and shooting long shots at 16. He's got dribbling at 17. He's going to be a danger to the defences there. Coming in off the right-hand side. Remember, he'll be a backup to Zaniolo, just like Bale will. So we've now got much more strength and depth up there. Pepe's a bit more close to our way of thinking, our philosophy at the club. He's only 26 years of age. I tell you, I'm sure he was a lot better in previous FMs than this. But I tell you, I'm still happy. I think I'll enjoy using them. Coming in off that right-hand side, a backup to Zaniolo. Yeah, Nicolas Pepe. So Gareth Bale and Nicolas Pepe both coming in to play as backups in that attacking 3 positions for us. But they can play, both of them can play across the front 3 positions. So I look forward to seeing them and how they do that. I'm not sure if I'll enjoy Bale or Pepe more. I'm not sure, but either way, none of them cost that much money. I think they're great options as backups. Pepe's on less money than Bale as well, which is another positive. He's only on 62,000 as opposed to 150 that Bale's on. But you know what? Even if I bankrupt this club, I think these are good signings. I hope these are good signings anyway. Now, you can see the finances here. We don't have much transfer budget left. Now, that's because I've moved a lot of it into wage budget, so I don't look as bad for the board in terms of spending over the budget. Our wage budget was about 2 million. I've increased it to 2.4, and that's reduced the transfer budget from about 20 million down to about 2. So I don't imagine we're going to have any more ins, but if we do, I'll let you know. But looking at the squad now, I quite like the look of that. The fact we've got Bale and we've also got Pepe in there as options to cover in that attacking position. I am looking forward to this. I really am. Pepe also appears to be classed as an EU player, even though he's from the Ivory Coast. That's because he also has French nationality. That's good. That's good to know. And Gareth Bale is Welsh, and somehow that's classing him as EU. I'll take that. Maybe because he's been at the Real Madrid for so long, he's classing as an EU player. I'll take that anyway. It means that he doesn't get unregistered like unfortunately Cabral has. We still haven't managed to find somewhere for him to go out on loan, so he's ended up not going to be registered this season, which is disappointing indeed. Another thing to mention as well was Alessio Romagnoli's got himself a virus. He's out for the next 2 weeks, so he won't be playing for us either in the games that are coming up. I say, if there's anything that happens in the rest of the window, we will let you know. And if not, you'll see us for the game up against AC Milan. Well, deadline day has just started and we are making another signing. 2 million up front and 4 million over a course of however many installments it's going to be. We are signing Dani Ceballos to cover in our midfield area. We're kind of raiding Real Madrid of some of the players they don't want, are we? Dani Ceballos here now playing for Roma. As you can see, a very nice central midfield player. Can play as a Mazzala, as an advanced playmaker. We don't use any of those, but he can act as a deep line playmaker or the box to box if need be, and he can also cover in these wide areas as well if we need to. So he's a very nice, well-rounded player. Some nice dribbling, nice first touch, some nice passing, some nice technique. Very skillful player, 25 years of age as well, so can develop, and happy to be as a squad player. That's Dani Ceballos. We've added to the squad, made it a bit better, and there's also a chance, remember, we're going to lose Cristante because he decided he wanted to leave. So if he does leave, Ceballos would be a perfect replacement for him. So here we are. We do have a night going happening here. Ebrima Darbo. He has not played much for us. You can see down there, he's played 1 game in the Conference League and 1 game in SerieA. He was one of the backup central midfield players. I don't ever think he's going to reach his potential, so we'll sell him, and it means that Ceballos can replace him in the squad. Darbo is away. He's also from the Gambia, so there is a chance, because he's one of the non-EU players, if that's right, unless he does have some type of EU heritage in there. Maybe I'm allowed to register Cabral after selling Darbo. I'm not sure, to be honest. We'll see if we're allowed to do that. But Darbo is away for 2.8 million. He is going to Benfica. And another one, we mentioned in the last episode that Chris Smalling wanted to leave. He was talking about a loan. However, we've actually going to sell him. He's going to go to Burnley. He's going back to Britain. And sorry to see him go. I mean, he's not really played that much. 5 games in the Conference League. 5 games including sub-appearances in SerieA. Not really one of my first choice centre-backs. So away he goes. Goodbye, Chris Smalling. You are back to England, back to Burnley. I'll tell him good luck in the next step of your career. He says he'd rather stay here. He's not happy with my contract. I don't think I'm going to be having many phone calls from Chris Smalling anymore. Maybe I'll need to get someone new on my phone book then, obviously. And here we go, what I think is going to be our last signing of the window. Julian Chabot here. Chabot? I'll go Chabot. The German centre-back who's currently at Sampdoria. We're going to loan him for the second half of the season just to replace Smalling, just so we've got that full complement of 6 centre-backs I was talking about. It turns out it's another left-footed centre-back, so we've got a lot of those. Now we're going to end up with 3 left-footed centre-backs at one point in the team. But yeah, he's going to be a backup option to come off the bench, bringing him in on loan. He's not costing us too much at all. That's Julian Chabot, going to be a covering centre-back. He can also play in defensive mid if he needs to, but yeah, he'll mainly be a kind of 5th or 6th choice centre-back. That's hard for you to say, isn't it? You can see he's got very good heading at 16 there. He's 6'5". Nice marking at 15, nice tackling at 16. But a very good ball-playing not so good at the ball-playing bit of the ball-playing defender. 13 passing, 12 first touch. Maybe not great, but certainly just as a defender. Very solid indeed. And that is indeed the transfer window closed. If we look at our transfer history, our signings we have brought in off our Arthur Cabral, who's not going to be able to be registered in the league, disappointingly. He might play in Europe, you never know. Hardlik Abra, an option up front. We've also brought in Zagadou, as I'm definitely going to be singing Zagadou, as an option at centre-back as well. Looking at our other defensive options, we've brought in Chabot here as a backup option at centre-back. Also, in midfield, we've brought in Dani Ceballos from Real Madrid. We've also brought in Gareth Bale from Real Madrid in the wide areas, and Nicolas Pepe. A very, very busy January. So I didn't think it was going to be that busy, but we have brought in quite a few, and the reason for that is because quite a few have went out. Firstly, Diawara, one of our central midfield players who we had on the bench, went out away on loan. He went to Rennes. We also sold Matthias Vina here, the left back. He's away to Napoli. We moved further on in our window and sold Gianluca Mancini to Newcastle. That's really how we managed to bring in so many players, because we got 50 odd million pounds for him. Mkhitaryan went to Real Sociedad. We got his wages off the book, and obviously he was leaving in 6 months at the end of his contract. Anyway, we sold Darbo as well. He went to Benfica, so we lost a few midfield options off the bench, hence bringing in Dani Ceballos is a good idea. And we also lost Chris Smalling to Burnley. So basically we lost Mancini and Smalling at centre-back, brought in 2 centre-backs to replace them. Lost Mkhitaryan in the attacking midfield role, brought in Pepe and Bale to replace him. We brought in a backup striker as an option, and we can't register him. And we brought in Dani Ceballos to replace some of the midfielders we lost as well. So basically the outs were replaced by people coming in. That's the thoughts, and that's been a fairly successful window, I would say. Right, let's get on to the games up against Milan and up against Lazio today. It's going to be another long episode, this one, but hopefully you will enjoy it. Big game against Milan. Let's get into it. Right, so just before we get into this game against AC Milan, just a quick reminder with how the league table looks. We are currently 2 points behind Roma at the top, level on points with Napoli, but we do have a game in hand on them, and that game in hand is against 8th place Milan. They're just about clinging on to European places at the moment. They're not quite there, but they're clinging on to the fight for it, so hopefully we can get a win and they can start falling away from those European places, maybe? Something like that. Probably the surprise of the season for me is the fact that Juventus aren't even in Europe at the moment. They're not doing well at all without Cristiano Ronaldo. But who cares about them? Let's get on with it. Let's get on with this game. I'll show you what the team's going to look like for this one. And then we obviously have that important one up against Lazio in the Cup too. I've just realised the last episode and this episode are going to be awfully, awfully busy. And you know what? That's fine by me. Lots to talk about, lots to see. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you are indeed enjoying it, please do remember to leave a like on the video. It really does help us out. And hit that subscribe button. If you have got to this stage and you're thinking, who's this guy? Subscribe. You won't miss an episode of Glory Hunter as we continue through 20 years of a managerial career trying to win 15 competitions. The League and Cup in every single one of the big 5 countries. England, France, Spain, Italy, Germany. World Cup, the Euros, the Champions League, the Europa League and the Conference League. Hopefully we can get at least one of those ticked off this season. You can see we are going to be up against Milan today, 8:30 kickoff. And this is the team that we have selected and we're going to go with, because we still have injuries to Vass, we have injuries to De Sciglio, we have injuries to Romagnoli, we have injuries to Ivan Perisic. Lots and lots of injuries, which is not ideal, but the team is going to look like this. Patricio's going to play in goal. He's been so good for us in there this season. Ibanez in defence with Albiol and Zagadou making his debut on the left-hand side of our back 3 today. Spinazzola still covering in that right wing-back position because of the injuries to Vass and De Sciglio. Calafiore continues on the left. Veretout alongside Pellegrini in midfield. Zaniolo on the right. El Shaarawy will get the game on the left instead of Perisic due to his injury. And Tammy Abraham up front. The bench is full of the signings we've made. We've got Chabot, who's a backup centre-back, remember, who can come on as well. Ceballos in there in midfield. Pepe and Bale, who can play in these attacking 3 positions. We've got great strength and depth, and bear in mind we still have Vass, Romagnoli, De Sciglio, Perisic. Who'd probably be on this bench or even in the first team if they weren't injured. We've got really good strength and depth. Hopefully it will push us towards the title, and an important victory today against Milan would be very useful for that too. So we are playing in our red, Milan playing in a kind of off-white colour today, and hopefully we can get them on an off day and we can win this one quite comfortably. Well, there's been some early yellow cards in the game, but there's not been a highlight, and we've reached half-time with no highlight in that first half. Not been many shots at all. We'll start the second, see if those same 11 people out there can do better, and if not, we'll be making some changes. Here's the first highlight. AC swing it in, and Kia heads that over the bar after 52 minutes. That's the first highlight of the game. Bale into Ibanez, and Spinazzola, and maybe we'll have a chance of our own here. Zaniolo, who's on a yellow card, misplaces that pass, and the ball comes out to Theo Hernandez on the left hand side here. Will he swing this ball over? He's forced out, and Leal with it into Grilic, and Bakayoko into Nali, and Salamakers there, and it's forced all the way back to Calabria, the right back, who plays it forward toward Leal. The ball's played into the middle, and it's a goal from Brahim Diaz. I think that was a mistake from Zagadou there, was it? Let's have a look to see if that is the case. He had his head kind of bowed down in shame, so that normally suggests he's the one that's made the mistake here. Let's have a look. The ball played back in, and yes, he doesn't get interception, and Diaz gets the goal. And I tell you, I think we're going to change the formation, but it's not quite working this one, so we're going to go to one of our other formations, which is the tried and trusted 4-4-2 formation. Zagadou not having a good game, so he can come off. Unfortunate for him, and his debut's not playing particularly well. And we're actually going to play Gareth Bale up front in that deep lying forward position alongside Tammy Abraham. Let's see if that works. I'm not sure it will, but we'll find out. 4-4-2 is not working, so we've changed to 4-2-3-1. We've made 4 changes now as well. We've brought on Shomurodov and Pepe to play in the wide area. Sabas is coming in midfield, and Davide Santon to cover at right back. I'm going to encourage the team for the last 10 minutes here. We'll go to a positive mentality, and let's see if in the last few minutes we can get a win here, if we're going to have our second loss of the season. And indeed, it is a second loss of the season. That was a very boring game. I was saying how there's been lots of stuff happening, and that had hardly any highlights in it at all, and we did not play well. I'm embarrassed by that performance, I tell the team in the team talk, and we are still in second position there. Inter with a game in hand. They could go 5 points clear at the top now after that slip up from us. So it's a day later that Inter play up against Lazio in the league, and if we work our way through all these news items, we should be able to see what the result of that one was and see if Inter have managed to pull away further at the top of the table, or if Lazio have managed to pull them back. Oh my goodness me. Lazio are down to 9 men. Never going to happen. Inter now 5 points clear at the top, with ourselves, Napoli and Atalanta, not Atlanta. That'd be weird, wouldn't it? An American city playing in Italy. Atalanta, Napoli and ourselves only separated by a point, second through fourth. We're now 5 points behind league leaders Inter. That's not ideal at all. We're going to have to try and pull them back as best we can. But we now remove our thoughts from the league. We're playing against Lazio in the quarter-final of the Cup. It's important that we get through that, try and get a bit of silverware there. This is not the news I wanted to see before we play our important cup game up against Lazio. Tammy Abraham is out with a bruised thigh. I'm going to leave him to see the physio, but he might not be back in time for that game, which is not ideal at all, seeing as he's about the only person who scores goals for us. Right, well, here we are ready for the game against Lazio, and even though Tammy Abraham said he was injured, he's returning to full fitness in a day, he can still play the game. It says recommended no more than 60 minutes, so we're going to start him because he is that important for us, and hopefully he can get at least an early goal for us today. That's the hope. We're actually going to stick with the exact same team as last time for this game, give them a chance to redeem themselves after that disappointing defeat to AC Milan. And you know them, but I'll say them again. Patricio on goal, Ibanez, Albiol and Zagadou at centre-back. Spinazzola and Calafiori as wing-backs. Pellegrini and Veretout in midfield with El Shaarawy, Zaniolo on the wings. And Tammy Abraham starting up front, even though he's got a little bit of a bruised thigh. I'm sure he will manage to survive. Quarter-final of the Coppa Italia. It'd be great if we could tick this one off in the first season. At least get any. I mean, we're starting to fall away at the top of SerieA after that defeat. That's disappointing. But if we can get the Coppa Italia in the first year, that would be very useful indeed. And it's a very early highlight. Veretout into the back post, and it's headed away by Acerbi, who was sent off in the game against Inter that Lazio just had. Remember when they went down to 9 men? Hopefully they go down to 9 men against us and we have a chance of winning this one. But Felipe Anderson's got it in the right for them. He cuts it back and it's cleared away, and El Shaarawy with it now. Long ball forward toward Abraham. all by himself, but he plays it back to Veretout, out to Calafiori, flicked down toward Abraham, but it is cleared away by Lazio. Acerbi with it. Lucas Leiva. Forward to Immobile, and Anderson on the right-hand side. He's in behind the defence. Can he cross the ball in? He does, back to Alberto, and it's in. And they're up 1-0 already. The first shot of the game. Lazio lead. Are we going to start falling apart here after the January window? I hope that's not the case. I didn't think Mancini was that important to us that when we've lost him. He wasn't even playing a few of the most recent games. If we lose him, we start conceding lots of goals. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully that's just a blip and we go and get some goals of our own. Acerbi with it, the free kick in their own half for Lazio here. They're playing about the ball at the back. I imagine they'll try and play it long if they have the chance. Acerbi with it into Lucas. And they're just passing the ball about. I would like if we could go and win this back. Lucas, Luis Alberto, forward to Akpro here. Luis Alberto with it. Out to, I can't say his name. It's the fullback there. Plays the ball long. Elsaid Haizaj. And Immobile tucks that in. And Lazio are up 2-0. We've not had a shot yet in the game. I don't want to watch a replay. That was poor from us. And it's not good enough. It's as simple as that. And Lazio got another chance early on here. They could be up 3-0 really early on in this game. Felipe Anderson into Alberto. It's cleared away, hopefully. Zaniolo comes away with the ball. Come on, let's break away with it. Zaniolo on the right-hand side. Forward toward Tammy Abraham, who's went wide. Back to Spinazzola. Back to Abraham. And Pellegrini switches the play toward El Shaarawy. It's headed back. And Reina will throw that one out up the right-hand side. And is it going to be another chance for Lazio? It is indeed. Lazari with it. He drives forward. He throws. He plays the through ball, but Jimenez intercepted it. And maybe it's going to be our chance then. There's lots of highlights early on in this game. Calafiori, 40. Abraham, he's miles offside. There's no even any point in watching that. He must be yards offside. I could tell it just with the naked eye. It says 2-1, but that's got to be disallowed. Indeed it is. We'll see this replay if they show us it. And he's yards offside. Like, yards. Look. What's even the point in playing that ball? He's so far offside. And it's still 2-0. That doesn't even count as a shot yet. And Lazio play the ball out from the back. Can we force them into an error? Acerbi with it for to Alberto. And Pedro's out on this left-hand side to Immobile. All the way back to Acerbi and back into Immobile. And they're keeping the ball nicely, our Lazio, and they switch the play toward Felipe Anderson, who's in behind Calafiori here. It's a good challenge from Calafiori, but Anderson comes away with the ball again, out to Lucas, and it's intercepted, and Tammy's got it now. And can he find the man on the wing? He does, El Shaarawy, but he comes in field in a down a kind of dead end there, but he gets the ball back. Oh, what a goal from Stefan El Shaarawy. I was just saying how bad it was that he ran down a bit of a dead end, cutting in field, but he played the ball back out to Calafiori. We've seen the replay here. Look, he runs down, he has so much space, but he runs into this kind of dead end here, plays it to Calafiori, but then runs to get it back and chips it over the keeper. Brilliant play from El Shaarawy and Calafiori there, and we're back in this game, 2-1. There's a chance we can get through here. Luis Alberto swings in the corner kick and it's headed straight at Patricio. And is that going to be the highlight, or are we going to have a chance of our own? We play it towards Zaniolo and it's a 2-on-2 if he can get past his man. He can't. He goes out wide. He plays it back in toward Pellegrini, but Pedro intercepts it. And is it going to be a chance for Lazio here? Alberto plays the ball forward to Pedro. He's got space to drive into. He threads it through towards Immobile, but it gets challenged and intercepted and it's just off the bar. Oh my God, what is happening here? I'm going to have to take a breath. There's so much happening in this game, and we're still losing 2-1, but we're still in it. To be honest, we probably don't deserve to be in it. Lazio being the better side. But let's see if we can maybe make some changes at half-time here and do something. I'm going to have to say, I want to say something that we're not being very good. Show me something in the second half. They've liked that, and I'm going to have a look here, and Tammy is not playing well with his injury, so we're going to take him off. And we'll bring on Shamuradov to play up front. And Zaniolo's also not having a good game. So we'll bring on Nicolas Pepe to play for him on that right-hand side. It's a risk because Zaniolo's one of our better players, but he's not playing well. So we'll bring on Pepe and see if he can prove something here in this second half. Demand more for the team and see how we go on. Corner kick for Lazio. Luis Alberto swings it in, and that's going to be a handball, is it? Oh, what a poor first two games for Zagadou. Missed an interception in the last game that gave a goal to AC, and now he's handled the ball there. And Immobile is going to step up and score the penalty, and we're down 3-1. And goodness me, Zagadou, you are not having a good start to your time here. You really are not. Oh my goodness me. We're going to have to make some changes. I'm going to go 4-4-2. That's my decision. Put Zagadou back to his up front position. We'll bring on Mayoral to play alongside Shomurodov. And we're going to have to take off El Shaarawy as well. We'll bring on Gareth Bale to play on that left-hand side. We are not playing well. I don't think this is going to happen, but we've got 20 minutes to make something happen. So we're going to have to see if we can get something to happen. I've said something to happen far too often here as Immobile goes there. We're going to change the attacking mentality. We need it. Demand more from the entire team. 15 minutes to go. Go and do something. Here we go. The ball swung in by Spinazzola there, but it's intercepted and Immobile comes away with it. Good challenge from Albiol. And Pedro has it now. He's launched it forward. Spinazzola heads it back to Rui Patricio. And Patricio plays the ball out to Ibanez. Can we get a goal? Can we somehow get ourselves back in this game? It's launched towards Shomurodov, but it's intercepted. And Patrick with it here. Into Basic. And Patrick. And Ramos. And they're switching the play toward Acerbi. And Luis Alberto in the midfield now. Out to Haisage there on the left-hand side. Forward to Zacagne. And he plays it back into Alberto. He's into the box. Can he get himself a goal? No, he sets up Immobile though, and it's 4-1. And we're knocked out the Italian Cup, and we're not going to get this bit of trophy. This bit of silverware. Oh, and that's an embarrassing defeat up against Lazio here as it's 4-1. That's not good at all. We were never in this game. I don't know what it is, but we were not good at all in this game. We've not been good at all this episode. Yes, it is embarrassing. I will say that to them. And it means, don't you worry. If you were worried we were going to be here just for 1 year and win all 3 competitions, you were wrong. We're definitely going to have to be here at least another year. Because we have been knocked out of the Italian Cup at the quarter-final stage. And that just was not good enough from the boys here. So we've only lost 1 game all season. And then in this episode, we've managed to lose 2, which is not ideal, I'll say. Not ideal. Oh. Hopefully over the course of the next month, they will play a little bit better. And we will come back for our Europa League second knockout round. I don't know who we're going to be playing against. So you'll find out in that next episode. And I don't know if we're going to do a knockout round and Napoli, or just the knockout round and show you a bit of Napoli in between. I'm not sure. You'll find out in the next episode, but we'll come back and we'll see when we play in that Conference League who we have drawn in the second knockout round. So now we're knocked out the cup. We've got 2 competitions to try to win to start our glory hunter well as the manager of Roma here. We've got SerieA to try and win. We're 5 points behind now at the top of the table, and the Conference League as well. If we can somehow get a win there, that would be ideal as well. Check that off. First season, that would be brilliant. If you have enjoyed this episode, even though we've had 2 disappointing defeats, please do leave a like on the video. It really does help us out. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss anything. You don't want to miss this. This is topsy-turvy all over the place. We thought we were going to cruise it, and it turns out now we're losing games. So you don't want to miss anything. Hit that subscribe button so you don't. And until the next one, we'll be playing in our Conference League knockout round. We'll see you then.